Let's begin with a simple, human explanation of what the sky is doing on the 23rd, and why it matters for someone with Taurus rising. There's a new moon in Leo, which means the sun and moon occupy the same slice of sky and start a fresh emotional cycle. Think of it like turning the lights off and on again in a room you live in every day. The furniture doesn't change instantly, but the feeling in the room resets. That new moon also sits with a point associated with release and simplification, a kind of cosmic declutter toggle. In everyday language, the day carries permission to let go of prideful facades and inherited scripts and to begin again with something closer to the truth of your heart. There's also an event called Mercury's northward ecliptic crossing. Translation: the planet connected with thinking and messages crosses the sun's path, and ideas tend to speed up. It can bring quick insight, quick conversations, and the occasional quick mistake if we rush. Proofreading and mindful pacing help. Another piece is the sun forming a quincunx, a 150-degree angle with Saturn. A geometry that doesn't shout, "Stop!" It asks for an adjustment. If the sun is your vitality and Saturn is your responsibility, that angle suggests smart edits to your plan, not a cancellation. Add a tug-of-war in the sky between Mars in Virgo, who loves to fix the small stuff, and Saturn in Pisces, who asks for gentler boundaries and sustainable pacing. Together, they train your willpower to be precise rather than pushy. Meanwhile, Jupiter in Gemini cheers for learning and honest conversation, and Rahu in Aquarius amplifies your future-facing career instincts. Together, they open doors in public life when you're willing to learn out loud. By evening, Venus, your ruling planet, leans into the sign of Cancer, nudging the night toward nourishment, home-cooked comfort, and conversations that feel safe. That's the map. Now let's walk it. Slow, steady, pragmatic, through Taurus eyes. For Taurus rising, this new moon falls in Leo, the part of your life that rules home, emotional foundation, and private safety. Imagine the day like a soft renovation of your inner house. You don't need to knock down every wall. You do need to ask whether the walls still make sense. You might feel a quiet urge to rearrange a room, to sort a cupboard, to tend to a small family ritual, or simply to be at home more intentionally. Underneath the practical tasks is a deeper movement, a letting go of how you've been expected to hold it all together for everyone else. Your sign carries dignity and steadiness, and people often lean on you automatically. Today invites you to lean on your home, your routines, and your people, but in a way that's honest about your needs rather than heroic about your endurance. If a certain performance of being the reliable one has been heavy, this is the day to set it down without drama. Clarity beats presentation. Warmth beats performance. Morning hours can feel like low tide. That's not laziness. It's a natural lull that protects the reset. If you can, keep the mornings simple and private. Do the small, quiet tasks that make life work. Change the sheets. Cook something warm. Take out recycling. Water plants. Pay a bill. Write a short note to someone you live with. Your nervous system will register those ordinary acts as proof that life is held. Even if your schedule demands meetings, define tiny goals. One decision per call, one sentence summary per agenda, one next step per task, and leave the rest for the next lap. You're building a calmer house for your mind and heart by refusing to cram 10 things into a time slot that truly fits 3. The new cycle doesn't need fireworks. It needs clean oxygen. Because Mars in Virgo is energizing the part of your life connected to creativity, romance, play, and the things you make for the sheer love of making, the urge to tidy and improve your craft runs strong. But Saturn in Pisces stands across the way in your social sphere, reminding you that community has limits. Timelines exist, crowds have moods, and your energy is not infinite. It's tempting to perfect a passion project and then throw it at your entire network for applause. Try a more Taurus path. Refine one page, one prototype, one melody, one scene, and share it with one or two thoughtful people rather than the whole internet. Ask for specific feedback. Protect the playfulness of your creative heart by giving it a small, clear container. That container is your ally. It will keep joy from being swallowed by other people's expectations, and it will protect your energy from spreading too thin across social commitments that look exciting but drain your core. That theme of containment extends to work and reputation. Rahu energizes your public role in Aquarius, while Jupiter warms the value sector of your chart in Gemini. In plain speech, your voice and your worth are ready to be noticed in the wider world, if you are willing to name your worth and speak your value clearly. This isn't about inflating a brand. It's about pricing your work honestly, describing your offer plainly, and making your agreements specific. You don't have to shout to be heard. You do need to enunciate. If you've been hesitant to ask for a raise or set a firm rate because you're still learning, remember that everyone is still learning. Value isn't perfection. Value is usefulness, integrity, and the reliability you already embody. Make a simple list: what you deliver, how it helps, how you measure success, what it costs. Read it out loud until your body believes it. That confidence isn't performance, it's alignment. People can feel the difference. Communication deserves special care today because Mercury's crossing can generate both brilliance and glitches. For a Taurus rising, the mind is especially tuned to everyday exchanges, texts, emails, short trips, conversations with siblings or neighbors. Quick ideas will pop. Quick errors can too. Slow down by a breath before sending anything important. Read the first line and the last line. Confirm recipients. Check attachments. If a misunderstanding surfaces, resist the urge to defend your tone. Clarify content instead. Here's what I meant. Here's what I can do. Here's the next step. Your steadiness will lower the temperature in the room and remind everyone what you actually came to do together. If you need to pitch or present, prefer concrete examples over sweeping claims, and offer 2 or 3 options with clear trade-offs. That kind of clarity is your power tool today. It turns potential friction into practical motion. Let's return to home, not as a place, but as a feeling in your bones. The new moon in Leo is a home reset for you. It invites you to ask, what does safe feel like in my body? Is it a cleared kitchen counter? A candle near the bathtub? A heavier blanket? A playlist that tells my nervous system it can stand down? A conversation I've been avoiding that would make the house feel honest again? You don't need to solve everything in one day. You do need to honor the day by doing one thing that signals to your body. We live here, and we are cared for here. If you share your space, involve the people who live with you in one collaboration. Cooking together, folding laundry side by side, setting up a small reading corner, fixing a wobbly chair. If you live alone, make the environment your ally. A glass of water by the bed, a lamp you actually like, a tidy entryway that says, "Welcome home," when you walk in the door. These sound small. They are not. They are the infrastructure of peace. On the emotional front, sovereignty without stonewalling is the medicine. Your sign carries a quiet power that can become silence when you're overwhelmed. Today asks you to be present without withdrawing, and honest without flooding. If a conversation about family history or living arrangements or shared responsibilities comes up, try sentences with edges and warmth both. This is what I need to feel steady. This is what I can promise this week. This part isn't working. Here's a version that might. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make a good enough moment by speaking gently and specifically. Leo wants sincerity. Aquarius wants strategy. Taurus can give both by letting feelings be real and plans be clear. Health and vitality deserve a grounded plan. The morning favors warmth and ease, a gentle walk, mobility work for hips and shoulders, a few minutes of breath practice to open the chest. Digestive sensitivity can be higher when the mind is toggling between detail focus and big-picture responsibility. Choose simple, warm meals and keep hydration steady. Your neck and jaw hold a lot when you're carrying other people's expectations. Notice if you're clenching and soften deliberately. If you train physically, think form and technique today more than max effort. Your body responds well to consistency. Give it rhythm instead of a spike. A short nap or a 20-minute lie-down in the early afternoon could buy you 2 hours of calm focus later. That's not indulgence. It's smart energy management. Money and value, topics that sit close to Taurus's heart, get a thoughtful boost from Jupiter in Gemini. The simplest move is an inventory of what you've learned in the last 6 months that makes you more valuable, and a small plan to express that value clearly. If you freelance, revise your one-page services sheet and make sure the words sound like a competent human, not a pitch deck. If you're in a company, prepare a brief update for your manager that names outcomes achieved, explains what you're learning next, and suggests how those learnings will help the team. Keep it factual and kind to yourself. You don't need to be a prodigy, you need to be consistent. That's your brand anyway. Faithful delivery, upgraded steadily. Relationships, romantic, familial, collaborative, will benefit from the same blend of honesty and comfort. Romance doesn't require spectacle today. It asks for genuine presence. Cook together. Take a short drive with soft music. Walk the neighborhood without your phones. Talk in a language that tells the truth without assigning blame. If you're single, creativity is the bridge. Make something small and share it because it's real, not because it's impressive. If you're partnered, invite each other to name the smallest habit that would make home feel calmer this week. Taking out trash on a schedule, device-free dinners, 15 minutes of shared chores, and earlier bedtime. Then, keep your half of the promise. Reliability is love in practice. Workings of community and friendships can feel stretched by the push-pull between wanting to show up for everyone and needing to protect your sanctuary. Let that tension teach you how to say yes with edges. You don't need to attend every event to be loyal. Choose gatherings that feed your mind and honor your body's need for rest. Share resources with your network. An article, a template, a kind introduction. But don't let your calendar become other people's to-do list. Your time is a garden. It needs both sunlight and fences. If someone is disappointed when you set a boundary, that doesn't make the boundary wrong. It makes it new. Over time, the people who truly value you will adjust, and they will offer you the same care in return. All the while, Uranus continues the slow revolution in Taurus, which means you, the person, are changing shape in ways that even you might not be fully tracking. You might feel called to dress differently, work differently, love differently, or speak differently than your older self would have allowed. Trust it. Revolutions don't always look like protests. Sometimes they look like a woman wearing the clothes that feel like her. A man cooking meals for himself. A professional speaking up once per meeting with a clear ask. A parent sitting on the floor and playing instead of orchestrating an activity. Those tiny rebellions against your own autopilot are mighty. They are how you become new without breaking your life to prove that you're changing. The afternoon brings the sun's adjustment to Saturn into focus. In practical terms, something about your plan and your reality won't line up perfectly. And that's not a problem. That's a prompt. If a family responsibility overlaps with a work ask, if a deadline looks unrealistic after you see the details, if a collaboration needs different boundaries, treat the mismatch as data. Offer options. We can keep the date by narrowing the scope, or we can keep the scope by moving the date, or we can add help to keep both. You'll notice how stress drops in the room when you stop resisting reality and start shaping it. That's what Taurus does best. Shape reality with patience and good tools. As evening comes and Venus leans into Cancer, give yourself the sweetness you often save for others. Make dinner simple and warm. Put a lamp in the corner that makes the room feel kind. Put your phone away earlier than usual. If there's a conversation hanging in the air, choose a tone that is honest and unhurried. Ask an easy question. What felt unexpectedly good today? Answer it yourself, too. Let this small ritual end the day with a story about what is working, not just what needs work. Sleep becomes more than unconsciousness when the last hour is friendly. It becomes repair. And you need repair, not because you're broken, but because you are carrying a lot, and even strong backs deserve rest. If anxiety knocks, which it might when messages are quick and responsibilities are in dialogue, don't negotiate with it using thoughts alone. Use your senses. Touch something soft. Breathe a little slower. Drink water. Step outside for 2 minutes and look at a tree or the sky. Then come back and pick one action that moves your day 6 inches forward. The mind respects action more than arguments. If sadness visits, be gentle and concrete. Text a trusted person. Cuddle a pet. Choose a song that matches how you feel. Cry if you need to. Then do one small kindness for your space. If anger sparks, assume fatigue until you've checked your body. Have you eaten, hydrated, stretched, slept? Address those before addressing anyone else. Then state your boundary plainly and kindly. You're allowed to be firm and warm at the same time. Career strategy on a day like this looks like the combination of a pilot and a ledger. Propose small, measurable experiments with clear learning goals, rather than grand launches that strain the system. Document what you'll measure and when you'll decide. Keep a light ledger of your time and your wins. It will become the evidence that supports your rate, your raise, or your next role. If leadership asks for too much, show them the math calmly. If leadership is silent, don't assume the worst. Send a concise update with what you did, what you learned, and what you're doing next. Keep your eyes on the long arc. You're building a life, not performing a sprint. The through line for Taurus rising is this. Let home and heart be the engine, not the afterthought. Put your attention where your body lives. When your home feels honest and your routines feel kind, you become a force of nature in public. People trust you because you trust your own rhythm. You don't need to be loud to be undeniable. You need to be aligned. Use the morning to make room, the afternoon to edit plans, and the evening to feed bonds. Speak your value without apology. Price your work without theater. Share your creativity with people who know how to care for it. Set a boundary around your rest like it is a project with a deadline. Love in ways that feel like warmth, not performance. If you do only one brave thing today, let it be telling the truth about what you need to feel at home in your life. If you do only one practical thing, let it be a small adjustment to a plan that makes the plan more humane. If you do only one tender thing, cook and share something with someone you love, or with yourself if you live alone. And if you do only one spiritual thing, sit quietly for a minute and thank the people, living or gone, who made your steadiness possible. That gratitude will not make you passive. It will make you ready. Ready to be the kind of Taurus who builds a life that feels like it looks, a career that pays like it serves, and a home that holds like it heals. So breathe. You don't have to change everything on the 23rd. You only need to change the things that no longer feel like you. Move a chair, Move a deadline. Move a sentence from your head into the open air. Let the world meet your real pace. The cosmos isn't asking you to run. It's asking you to root. And once you root into what is true for you, your body, your values, your craft, your people, growth is inevitable. It won't be loud. It will be real.